Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's only me again, and thank you for tuning in for another round of metal detecting. So today is a really interesting day. I've come onto a ploughed and rolled field. This field I have been into before, but it was about a year and a half ago when it was all stubble and old crop. I had a hammered coin in this field, and I also had a really early 1300s medieval horse harness pendant, which turned out to be quite an interesting little find. I've always wanted to get back into this field, but I've never managed to be able to catch the crops right. However, today I have got the perfect, ideal opportunity to get in here and give it a good go and see how we get on. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and we have got a good day today to see what we can find. And guys, if you want to see what we find, then please continue watching. And that leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. And if you do enjoy the videos, then please consider to subscribe. And of course, if you want to help the channel grow, drop us a thumbs up as well. I just want to say a huge thank you to Chris Sumner. He recently bought me a coffee. Thank you very much for that, Chris. It's very much appreciated. But again, please do remember it's not expected, but it is appreciated. But anyway, that's the talking over, guys. Let's get some digging done, and I'll see you all on the first hole. So for anyone who is interested in the settings that I'm going to use today in this ploughed field, I'm just going to have a quick run through them now. So I'm actually using the general program on the XBDS2. I think the frequencies on that particular program are more suited for picking up finds within the first few inches, which realistically on a ploughed field, that's what you're going to expect to get. You know, there's no point in going deep on a ploughed field. You're looking for the things that have come up to the top. So don't stretch your machine, you know, looking for deep targets. Concentrate more on target separation and picking out the coke and iron to make them sound differently for the new targets or the best targets. So the actual setting that I'm using today is based on the program number 1, the general, and I'm running the discrimination at 6.9. And sensitivity is currently at 96, but that might go up or down depending on how I'm finding the sort of reactivity of the coke. I've got frequency shifters on 4, iron volumes on 3. Like to hear a bit of iron, but I don't want it to sort of, you know, overtake the headphones. Reactivity is on 2.5. My audio response is also on 4, and I've got 3 tones. Just running my normal tone segments, guys. I'm not going to run through that. You guys can obviously decide what you want to hear. 0 bottle cap discrimination and 0 notch as well. And my silencer is on 2. So I'm going to begin with those settings and tweak them as I go. But if I do tweak any of them, I will be sure to let you know. But we've just had our very first signal of the day right here next to the hedge. And I have pulled it out, and probably about 3 or 4 inches. Not too bad, but it is stretching the limits really of a ploughed field. And I found something which is possibly quite old. Come and take a look. Okay, so this is going to be one of those things that is either very old and very important, or it's going to be modern and of no historical value whatsoever. And right now, I just can't tell. Now obviously it's green, so it's made of copper alloy, and it's in this kind of diamond shape with another diamond in the middle. And what's quite interesting is it has these 2 fixings on the back, one here and one here. So that would suggest that this was probably a leather mount of some type. Now it might have had something in the middle, but that is since long gone, but it might have just been a void in the middle of it. But I've not really found anything like this before. If it is, you know, anything of significance, then for sure it could be medieval, it could be post-medieval. So it's still a really nice find for our very first target, and we certainly can't complain about that. But if any of you can help me ID this and give me a date for this, then please use the comment section below, because this is going to be one of those things that I'm probably not going to be able to pinpoint down exactly. So your help is very much appreciated. But there we are. That is our very first find in the ploughed field today. Let's push on. Okay, so what have you found, Mr Tweed?
I think it's a hammered. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a hammered. I've not cleaned the mud off yet. I've been waiting for you to come over with the camera.
Let's have a look then. Let's see what you've got.
Clean off. But I tell you what, it's really, really quiet in here, isn't it?
It's very quiet little field, yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I think it's just because it's just been ploughed and turned. So obviously the ground's quite lumpy and bumpy. Which means you're not getting the sort of ground coverage that you would normally get, but...
Dried off a little bit on me.
I mean, how long have we been here? 15 minutes?
15 minutes at most, yeah. This is my fourth signal. Oh, there we go. It is a hammered, and it looks like an...
It's an Edward, isn't it?
Edward penny. Let's have a little tass. I think it's Canterbury, but I'm not entirely sure.
Imagine that, because last time we were out, you found another Edward penny.
And it was Canterbury as well.
And it was Canterbury as well, and it turned out to be an Edward I.
Yes, it did, yeah.
I'm no expert, but that looks like another Edward I.
It does.
So that's the late 1200s.
Yeah, I think he came into being in sort of 1279, I think that date rings a bell.
And you found another one?
Found another one. That was a solid 60 on the DS2 on a modified sensitive setting.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to put that on the forums to get a proper ID. These things go over my head, these Edwards, because there's hundreds of classes of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm well chuffed with that. I was thinking it's going to be a really quiet day, and I was thinking, this is going to be one of them days where just solid frustration, not finding anything, knocking into all these clumps. But that's given
you hope,
motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. And to find it this soon in, just goes to show that if you put the hours into this field, you're going to get good stuff out of it, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So hopefully that's the first of many.
Absolutely, and I think
the rest will be mine.
Yeah, I hope so.
What a stunning little signal I have just had down here. And oh my God, for a moment, I honestly thought I'd pulled out something which was super, super cool. But I've given it a clean off and it's still pretty cool. Still a pretty good find. It's a silver sixpence. Now, this was an absolutely banging 85 on the DS2. It wasn't incredibly deep, I'd say a couple of inches just below the ploughed soil here. And I gave it a clean and I thought, wow, this is silver. Scrubbed it off and I could see sixpence there on the front. Unfortunately, the date on this one is quite obscured because it's been damaged by the ploughing. And you can see that it's actually been quite badly squashed and scraped on one of the bottom corners. But on the back, you can just make out Queen Victoria there in her mourning dress. So because this is a mourning sixpence, I would say that this would be about 1870s, maybe 1880s, something like that. But a nice solid silver little Victorian sixpence there. That's not bad at all, considering we've only really been here for about 25 minutes. So I'm gonna concentrate on the bottom end of this field and hopefully get some more good bits, guys. But really wanted to show you that one. Let's push on and see what else comes out. Oh wow. Looks like I've just gone and found my second silver coin of the day. And strangely, it's not very far away from where I found that last one. And oh, it sounded amazing. So it's coming up, yeah, sort of 84, 85 on the VDI. Wasn't going to miss this one because again, it was quite close to the top. Good news is as well, don't really need to dig in this field because all I've got to do is scrape away the surface and the goodies display themselves, which is always a bonus. But certainly looks like a silver coin. Let's give it a clean up, see what's on there. As you can see, it's got a little bit of tarnish on there, but I think I can just see a date on the front of this one, and it says 1859, and it's actually another silver sixpence. So this is going to be another Victorian sixpence, and let's have a look. Yep, so in contrast to the other one, this is a young Victoria. So lots of Victorian silver coins around here, but I've had 2 this morning, so I am chuffed with that. If there's any more, I will keep you posted, so continue watching. But there we are, another silver sixpence. So I'm just in the field detecting here, obviously, and the farmer's just come in with his tractor, and he's got his roller on there. And I don't know if you can see, but he started going around the outside of the field, which means he's probably going to be rolling this whole field again and again and again, which is great news because look how nice and compact this soil is now. Yeah, it's going to be so good. So thank you very much, farmer, for coming in. It's almost like he was expecting me, wasn't it? Really awesome, looking forward to that. But obviously it might mean I have to move out the way a little bit as well. Just had another target down here, not very far away from where I had those 2 silver Victorian coins. And have a listen to this. So another 84, 85, could potentially be another Victorian coin. So let's have a look, guys. There we go, I've got it in my hands now. Here we go. Just dropped it, which is typical. Let me just try and find it again. Oh, there it is. I can see it already. So, it's not a Victorian silver coin, that's for sure, because it's completely the wrong shape. But it looks like just a sort of small, random piece of copper alloy. It's in a kind of teardrop shape. And it must have been used for something at some point. But what was its use? I really don't know. I don't think we're going to get much of an answer from this one. But again, if you guys can help me, then please leave a comment below. Maybe it's old, maybe it's new, who knows. But still a nice little find. Let's crack on. Okay, so in light of the farmer coming into the field and doing all the rolling, it's kind of hindering me a little bit, because before he had squashed it all down and made it really compact, I could see my footprints as to where I'd been, and it was a really easy way for me to track in the field where I haven't done. But now he's kind of going over where I've been with the roller and erasing my footprints. So I've got a backup plan, and that is I'm going to follow all of the lines that he's doing in the field, and then that way I've kind of got a new line every time he rolls the field. It's probably my only bet for now, but I'm super happy that he is rolling it, because it's so much easier to swing on here, and it's much easier to walk as well. It's quite a physical activity, walking on ploughed soil all day, let me tell you that for nothing. So yeah, that's the plan of action. So let's crack on, see what else comes out. Just had this tiny little copper alloy thing down here, and yeah, I think I know what this is. Now, I'd never used to know what this is until somebody told me what this was, but this is actually part of a snare trap, and it was the tiny little bit which basically got triggered when the animal entered the trap. And sometimes these have numbers on them as well, but they're pretty common finds. You can't mistake them. They, you know, start up thick at one end and then they go a little bit thinner on one end, and they're usually pretty flat, but that is what they were used for. They were little snare trap pins, and yeah, they're pretty interesting finds, but they're certainly not super duper old or anything like that. But happy with that. Let's push on, see what else comes out. So it's now just about gone 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've just had another silver coin. It's actually another Victorian sixpence. Can you believe it? This one is in much better condition than both of the other ones. I haven't cleaned the other side yet, but I can clearly see an absolutely stunning portrait there of Queen Elizabeth in morning gown. So this is going to be a late 1800s sixpence, but again, solid 925 sterling silver. Can't complain at that. Let's have a closer look. So as you can see, it's covered in mud on one side, but have a look at this portrait. Absolutely really nice portrait there of Queen Victoria in morning gown. So let's pop the other side off and have a look, because this is my third silver of the day. Now, I know these aren't hammered coins, but this is still a triple silver day, and it's still only 11 AM. So we are doing pretty good today, that's for sure. I can't understand why there's so many of these in this field. Maybe somebody dropped some. Maybe it was like a purse or something, and somebody dropped some, because they, you know, pretty much are all kind of coming from a relatively the same area in the field. So yeah, I can't explain why there would be so many here, unless it was a single purse drop and all of the coins got lost in the field, and now the farmer and his plough is just spreading it all around the lower half of this field. But there we are, guys. That is a absolutely stunning 18, I think that says 1890 something. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but third silver coin of the day. Oh, what a great day. Absolutely loving it. Loving this field, loving the weather. It doesn't get much better than this. So this is a interesting little find. Now, at first, I didn't think it was anything good, but I have cleaned it off a little bit with my toothbrush. And when I started to clean it, I actually thought that it was one of those acorn mounts that you get on a leather horse harness strap. But then it became apparent that it definitely wasn't one of those acorn mounts, but it is a mount, and it looks pretty old. It's got that kind of medieval sort of look to it. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a small one, But what's quite strange about this mount is that on the back it's got a kind of square rivet. Now that's quite unusual for a mount, because usually mounts are designed to kind of come out of the back and then bend around, and that's what effectively keeps it onto the leather strap. But I'm not sure this one was ever designed to do that. But it certainly could be something to do with furniture decoration or something like that. But you have to admit, this looks super old, doesn't it? It definitely looks super old. I mean, it's got to be kind of 1600s, maybe even before. But yeah, it's quite a nice little surprise really in this field. I've mostly had sort of Victorian stuff. You know, it is cracking on a bit now, and I haven't really found an awful lot in here, but I've got a couple of hours left and I'm going to push on as much as I possibly can, because, you know, given a bit of rain, and by the time that this field is drilled, then we're not going to be able to get in here at all, because obviously he wants the crops to grow. So we're going to push on, see what else we can get, but for now, a nice little leather mount. So it's about 3:30 in the afternoon now, and I have been going and going and going just to try and see if there is anything good in here. Obviously we've had some nice silver coins, haven't we, from the Victorian era. About an hour ago, the farmer started redoing this side of the field. I imagine it's just because it's obviously a little bit too lumpy to start the drilling process. So it's kind of foiled my plans a little bit, because I was just about to head over into that side, and he came in with his tractor and started retilling all of the ground. So I started heading up sort of towards the field this way, and I just got an absolutely fantastic signal. Now, this is probably my find of the day, and it is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful thing. I think what we've actually gone and found here is a huge hammered coin, and I was not expecting to find one of those today, that's for sure. But guys, come and take a look. I haven't cleaned it yet, but it looks really, really cool. Okay, so this is like deja vu, honestly. If you remember a couple of videos ago, I was in another ploughed field where towards the end of the day I got an absolutely huge Elizabeth I shilling, and honestly it was very, very similar to this. This came up at about 88 on the VDI, and it was pretty deep. I mean, I actually had to use my hand trowel to dig this out, so I'm probably going to guess around 6 inches, maybe a little bit more, but I don't know what it is yet. But I'm almost sure it's silver, and I'm almost sure it's a coin. So guys, let's have a little clean together and see what we've got here. Hopefully it's going to be something good. Oh wow, look at that. So we have got X for 10, 1, 2. So that means it's 12 pence, which means it's a shilling. It's another shilling. Oh wow. And it's Charles I, isn't it? It's a Civil War Charles I, 1 shilling. Wow. That is amazing, guys. Let's just pick it off this side. Nice and gently, because we don't want to ruin it with some of the little rocks that might be in the soil. They'll scrape along the surface of the coin and completely ruin it, and we definitely don't want to do that. But oh my goodness, guys, look at that big silver shilling. That's going to date from the early 1600s. Wow. Oh, that has really lifted my spirits, because honestly this field was quiet, not a lot in there. But yeah, guys, we have just gone and found another silver shilling dating to the 1600s. It's a hammered coin and it is a stunner. I will clean it up and I will put a picture of it on the video for you. But wow, awesome. So I stopped again, not too far from where I just had that amazing 1 shilling, and I had another target and it was 86, 87, and I thought, no way, am I gonna get 2 shillings in one day? So I dug it out. It was just below the surface, really not very deep at all, and it's silver, but it's not a coin. It's a silver thimble, or at least it's a silver thimble fragment. I mean, yeah, it's pretty busted, isn't it? You can tell this thing has been in the ground for some time, rolling around the soil and just getting crushed, and even the top bit's broken off of it, so maybe I'll find the other half to it somewhere. But it's most certainly a silver thimble fragment. I don't really know how old this is. Now, the thing is with thimbles is they can be pretty tricky to date. However, if it's over 300 years old, and of course, because it's a thimble, it would be classed as treasure. So I will have to send a picture of this one to my local finds liaison officer, and hopefully they can have a look and see what they think it might be. But yeah, I think we've just gone and found a nice little silver thimble, possibly treasure. What a great day. Okay, we're now at the end of another day's metal detecting, and what a fantastic day it's been. I really wasn't expecting to find what we found today. I don't go out looking for silver, gold, hammered coins. I'm happy to find anything at all as long as it's identifiable and it's got historical value. So to come home with a Charles I shilling, 3 silver milled Victorian coins, silver thimbles, all those sorts of little bits, for me is truly, truly a bonus. So that's it, I'm heading off home now. Thank you very much for watching, and guys, if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed, then please do, because there's going to be plenty more videos coming up. And of course, if you have liked the permission today and you want to support the channel and help it to grow, give us a thumbs up as well. That means an awful lot. And until the very next time, I'll see you all again soon.